Mekgineer Thermaplugg is a 5-stage fight. Really 4, but why not? A huge portion of this fight is handling the bombs. What we found out what best works is having 2 powerhouse range that can drop them in moments, cycling between killing the bombs and clicking the button, and trading off for every other one. The 6 statues around the room produce bombs. There's a button on the side. Makes it so they don't spawn the bombs for a while. These life tap buttons take away 30% of your health, give you 20% mana, increase your movement speed by 100 for 5 seconds. First phase bombs are fire. They match the same element as the boss. They'll leave a patch of fire on the ground. Second phase will leave a patch of ice on the ground. Third phase will leave a patch of poison on the ground. These will all apply the same debuff that is affecting the tank. Each phase, the boss will do an element swipe toward the tank. Phase 1, Fire Robot. Every 5 to 10 seconds, he'll do a frontal swipe. This will affect the tank and anyone in front of the boss, leaving a debuff. It does 100 fire damage per stack, lasting for 30 seconds. About 35 seconds in, he'll cast Furnace Surge. This pulsates that fire debuff in front of him in the same frontal arc every second. This lasts for 10 seconds. He is slowed to 80% during this. This is counteracted by the tank kiting him away until he stops the channel. You can one-tank this if your DPS is high enough, or if you opt with a paladin tank to bubble. You should be able to transition this phase with your tank at 8 or less stacks. Phase 2 is a frost variant of the robot. This one hits the tank particularly hard, and applies a movement slow with every stack of its swipe, which can become obnoxious for the people dealing with the bomb situation, as that debuff is both shared by the bombs and his raid-wide pulse, which is called Coolant Discharge. It happens roughly every 24 seconds. When the stacks get to 11, it freezes the target. Both the stacks and the ice block effect are cleansable. If you want to be mana savvy, you just cleanse when somebody becomes an ice block. And that should only ever be the tank if you have the bombs under wrap. If his Coolant Discharge goes off while somebody is currently ice blocked, it will wipe the raid. Keep your bomb crew fast. Cleanse only who you have to. If someone's high, you can have them stand in a patch till they freeze, and then cleanse the freeze. Do so as necessary. Phase 3 is a poison variant of the robot. Its swipe leaves a debuff that increases poison damage by 50%. This disease can be cleansed, and should always be cleansed off your main tank. The added gimmick for this phase is Toxic Ventilation. This is a channeled cast. It doesn't have a cast bar, you just interrupt it and it stops him from doing raid-wide damage. Once you push this phase, you'll get a variant of the Robot Cut XD. Lol, that's wild, bro. It does every variation of ability that the previous robots do, but so offset that it doesn't matter. You'll have a kite phase, which is a reprieve on tank damage. You'll have a spot of cold here. You'll have an interrupt needed there. You beat this one down to 0 health, where the others were 50% for this. And then Shinji gets out of the robot. You give him a physical beatdown in place of a psychological one, and you get loot. If your bomb squad is amazing and your healers are on point, this fight is pretty chill. You can use buttons around the room, get mana. If this ends up being something that is difficult, please come back with people that you trust. I assure you this fight is not super hard.
Explosions! More explosions! I gotta have more explosions!